You're listening to the Ringside Report with AJ Styles, the phenomenal one.
This is Daniel Bryan, and you're listening to Wrestling Uncensored.
What's going on, y'all? This is WWE superstar Kofi Kingston, and you're listening to Wrestling Uncensored.
Aw, yeah. Welcome to Wrestling Uncensored. I'm Dave Simon. He's Johnny North. WrestlingUncensored.net is the website. Talking professional wrestling here. Every Saturday night, we've got WWE Wrestlemania tomorrow night. Welcome to the WrestleMania preview show. WrestleMania 35 going down tomorrow live in New Jersey at MetLife Stadium. They're saying it's in New York, but we all know it's in New Jersey, in East Rutherford, headlined by women for the first time ever. It will be women headlining the show in the main event. The last match on the card, Ronda Rousey, the Raw Women's Champion, Charlotte Flair, the SmackDown Women's Champion, and Becky Lynch in a triple threat match. Winner takes all. The winner becomes the WWE Undisputed Women's Champion. Or maybe just the WWE Undisputed Champion. I don't think we have to put women in there anymore. I think that's something that's going to change over the next few years. I was thinking about it this week. Charlotte Flair is they call her the SmackDown Women's Champion. To differentiate her from the SmackDown Men's Champion, there is no SmackDown Men's Champion. Charlotte Flair is the SmackDown Champion. The SmackDown Men's Champion is Daniel Bryan, but it's called the WWE Champion. WWE title. He's the WWE Champion. Charlotte Flair is the SmackDown Champion. Ronda Rousey is the Raw Champion. Brock Lesnar, who holds the title on Raw, is the Universal Champion. So I'm just going to call Ronda the Raw Champion. Charlotte is the SmackDown Champion. We don't have to put women's in there. There's only one Raw or SmackDown Champion.
Well, they differentiate because it's the women facing the women only. It's not intergender. They do have like intergender championships in wrestling.
Not in WWE.
Not in WWE, so you need that.
Well, no, because like no one calls Daniel Bryan the WWE Men's Champion. You see what I'm saying?
World Heavyweight, whatever. Sometimes they add that in there.
Yeah, but that's not like Universal Champion. They don't call him the Men's Universal Champion. We shouldn't call them the SmackDown Women's Champion. It's just the SmackDown Champion. And Bayley and Sasha are the Tag Team Champions.
For the women.
No, they're the Tag Team Champions. The Revival are the Raw Tag Team Champions, right?
Right.
The Usos are the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. There is only one set of Tag Team Championships for the women. They are the Tag Team Champions. That's what we're calling them now, okay? Because it's not fair that we have to say, oh, it's the Women's Championship, the SmackDown Women's title. There's no SmackDown Men's title. And we don't say it's the WWE Men's Championship. You may not be following me on this, Johnny North, and that's okay. And maybe some of the Wrestling Uncensored universe isn't with me on this, but this is where we are headed, and this is how we should be addressing these champions. If you get it, you get it.
Well, I just don't think they're going to do that yet. Not even WWE is going to do that.
I think they're already doing it. I think some of them are already doing it because they get it.
Well, is it going to be undisputed? Because I feel like we're still going to have a Raw and SmackDown Women's Champion. It's just maybe she'll just have both championships. That's it.
Okay. I don't agree.
Okay.
We don't have to call them the Women's Champions anymore. Tag Team Champions, because every title has their own name.
Right, to tell the difference.
Yeah.
And they use women to help tell the difference.
But it's obvious.
I think sometimes WWE, they like to showcase the difference.
No. Well, I think it's wrong because we don't call them the male Intercontinental Champion. It's not like that. It's just the Intercontinental Champion. So Charlotte's the SmackDown Champion. Ronda's the Raw Champion. Becky Lynch, the man, Becky Lynch, as is her nickname, right?
Right.
The Queen Charlotte Flair, the world's most dangerous woman Ronda Rousey. What do they call her? The baddest woman on the planet, and Becky Lynch, the man Becky Lynch. I think the man Becky Lynch. Prediction time here, Johnny North. I believe Becky Lynch will win in the main event. I believe Becky Lynch is going to be the undisputed WWE champion? Women's champion? I don't know. There it gets a little shady because Daniel Bryan's the WWE champion. So to call Becky Lynch the undisputed WWE champion would be kind of weird. So I guess then you have to say the undisputed women's champion. So then I would allow it, I guess.
Well, she will win the main event, right?
Just call her the champ, the double champ.
Well, the champ that ends the show, pretty much.
The champ that runs the camp. Was that AJ Styles? Was that John Cena?
I feel like it's both, but yeah.
John Cena was the face that runs the place, and then wasn't AJ calling himself the champ that runs the camp? Or was Cena calling himself that too? I don't remember. Was it in that feud that they were both saying it?
I feel like it's more of a Cena thing, but doesn't really matter.
So we both think Becky's going to win the match?
Yeah, I think Becky's going to win. I think it's clear cut she's going to win because Charlotte won the SmackDown Women's Championship. That was her little victory.
Right.
And Ronda pretty much set up this match for Becky to win.
So Ronda, Charlotte, Becky. Will it be the best match on the card?
I think
it could be, right?
It's going to be no disqualifications, right? So they'll be allowed to use weapons. I expect they'll probably do the ladder spot through the table that Becky does, the leg drop. We're going to see stuff like that. They'll probably use kendo sticks. I expect even probably another table bump, actually. So I think they'll make it the best because there's just going to be a lot of extra salad dressing.
I think it's going to be a very good match. I'm not sure if it's going to be the best match on the card. I think that's really hard to tell. It's hard to predict, but I think it could contend. It's got the chance at stealing the show. All three of these women are very good wrestlers. And I think the WWE is just going to crown Becky Lynch the top, the number one. And I think Raw and SmackDown will be headlined by Becky Lynch for a while after Mania here for the next few months. I think it's going to be a lot of Becky, Charlotte, and Ronda.
And there's nothing
with Becky, on top. I don't know if Ronda's going to be around going forward, but I think Becky is going to be on top for a bit.
Well, that's it. Ronda, I don't know if she'll be around. This might be the end of Ronda.
Yeah. I don't know, though. I think Ronda's going to stick around for a bit.
Wait and see, right? I mean, after Mania, everything changes, right?
Yeah. It's hard to predict what happens after Mania. I think half of them, they don't even know, It's hard to predict the mind of Vince McMahon because it could change on a dime.
Well, the story ends here, right? This is the finale, and then season premiere is going to be Raw. So.
That's it. This is the season finale. WrestleMania is the end, and that's why it's so important because the whole year of wrestling really builds to this. This one match, Ronda, Charlotte, Becky. I'm excited for this one. I think it's going to be good.
Well, last year we thought Ronda, Charlotte, almost like right away when Charlotte won the championship and then Ronda made her debut, it felt like it was going to be that. We thought maybe it would be like that last year. And the fact that Becky was able to pretty much push her way in there and become the main event herself, I think it's just a testament to how amazing of a year she had.
Becky has had an amazing year. So has Ronda, though. You talk about her debut in professional wrestling last year. She's only been doing this for a year. Look how good she is now. It's incredible.
There's no question. It's just she was kind of force pushed, though. Like, even if she wasn't that great at wrestling.
Well, she's Ronda Rousey.
She's
a big star.
That they were going to make her great no matter what. Becky kind of had to do it without them pushing her.
And that's why people have got behind Becky Lynch so much, because they see her as, the wrestling fans see Becky as theirs, as the wrestler's wrestler. The one that wasn't handpicked by the WWE to be in this match, but she fought her way to the top with her talent on the microphone, on Twitter, in the ring. everything she does, she's shown that she cannot be denied, and that's why Becky Lynch has found herself in this spot. She's undeniable. The cream rises to the top.
And she had a few mishaps too, with the whole broken face with Nia Jax and tapping out to Asuka too. I was like, what the heck's going on here with Becky? Where's this push? Yet she won the Women's Rumble, and she lost that too, but came back, became number one contender, and now, if you look at it, in my opinion, she's the odds-on favorite.
Yeah, I think most people are going to be picking Becky Lynch to win. It just makes sense. This is her time. This is her match. This is her moment. It's pretty awesome. Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins for the WWE Universal Championship. Brock defending against Seth. Brock was on Raw this week. He actually showed up. Heyman says Brock's going to destroy Seth at Mania. Seth shows up, says the locker room, the people, nobody wants him here. Brock just laughs at him. Seth says he's going to take the title from Brock at Mania. Brock laughs at him some more and then just walks away. Bumps into Seth, though, so Seth attacks Brock, kicks him in the groin. Brock still manages to suplex Seth after taking the nut shot. Seth, though, hits him again, another low blow, and then his curb stomp, the signature Seth Rollins finish, and then holds the title belt over Brock for a second and then leaves. That was the last little bit on Raw for this Seth Rollins-Brock Lesnar feud. Seth has been talking a lot about how Brock Lesnar doesn't show up and the fans don't like him and no one cares about Brock. I'm not sure how this one is going to go. I am not sure if Seth is going to be the guy to take it from Brock Lesnar. Brock didn't lose to Roman Reigns last year at WrestleMania. Will he lose to Seth Rollins this year?
It's tough because you're already believing Becky's going to win, so that's a happy ending right there. And you think Seth, also in a big main event, is also going to win. Not everyone gets happy endings. And as we saw last year with Brock, sometimes the villain wins. And who's to say it's going to end here with Brock, because he's not leaving to the UFC right away. He's still going to be there for Saudi Arabia. So it kind of makes sense that he'd still be champion. However, I don't think it's necessary. And if they're ever going to put the title on Seth again, now's the time to do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that they're probably going to keep it on Brock, though. My gut feeling tells me that Brock retains.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, really, this seems like it could go either way. But I feel like they kind of need to put it on Seth at this point. As much as I don't find he's over as a top face on Raw, they're trying to force it. And what better way to force it than to put the championship on him?
I don't see it. Roman is around. Why put the title on Seth when Roman Reigns is waiting in the wings? I think you keep the title on Brock so that you could put it on Seth at the next show. Or rather on Roman, at the next show in a triple threat. Have Roman beat Seth. Roman takes the title. Roman's the champion. Then Brock goes away. Like you said, Brock doesn't have to be in the UFC until the summertime. I think Brock Lesnar and Daniel Cormier, the latest rumor was them fighting in August. So Brock's got time. Brock could stick around. Brock won't be at SummerSlam, but he may be at Money in the Bank on May 19th.
I think June 7th, Saudi Arabia.
Is that when that is?
Yeah. So I think we're going to see Brock Lesnar then. I say don't put him in the title picture. Give us the match that we want to see. Give us him against Bobby Lashley. That's a better match.
Brock and Lashley?
That's a match I think people really want to see. More so than him against Roman or against Seth.
I don't know. But for the title?
Not for the title,
just a one-on-one match. Take the title off Brock here, you're saying, and then have Brock and Bobby wrestle in Saudi Arabia. And you're right, the latest is that the WWE was supposed to go to Saudi Arabia on May 3rd. They're supposed to be going real soon.
Right.
but now the show has been moved to June 7th.
Because I think the tour, it just makes more sense that they have it on June 7th.
Interesting.
It's still a Friday.
Yeah, but that changes things for Brock Lesnar. You know, he might want to be in training camp in June. He might have been available for May in Saudi Arabia, but June is a different deal.
That's also very true.
So I don't know if you get Brock for that Saudi Arabia show now. And if Brock is not going to be at that Saudi Arabia show, maybe you do take the title off of him here and say goodbye to Brock for a bit. So maybe Seth does take it. I'm really torn on this. I'm not sure how they're going to play it. I could see Seth winning. I could see Brock retaining.
I just say look at last year and learn from your mistake. Brock winning, beating Roman, was a mistake. I think just the whole match in general was a mistake. I think the right move here is to put Seth as champion and let him run with it on Raw.
I don't really agree with that.
Oh, you don't think that's appealing whatsoever. I understand that. Seth is not really that over. However, this whole Brock Lesnar showing up every once in a while thing, it's not really working very well.
Sure, so give the title to Seth and then have him drop it, like, on Monday, the night after Mania, or at the next pay-per-view. At Money in the Bank, you could easily have Seth drop it. You know, Roman could win Money in the Bank and then beat Seth that night to take the title.
I don't see that happening, but, you know.
Kofi Kingston.
Yeah, Kofi against Daniel Bryan.
I'm saying Kofi and Seth at Money in the Bank. I don't think Daniel Bryan is going to lose the WWE Championship. And I don't know, man. I'm torn on the Seth-Brock thing. But now that they're moving the Saudi Arabia show to June, I think Brock does drop the title here. So I think Seth wins. I think Becky wins. I think Kofi loses, though, to Daniel Bryan. I think that match will be great. I'm looking forward to it. I thought the promo on SmackDown was pretty good. Daniel Bryan's promo was very good. And I don't want this run to end. I don't want that beautiful wood and hemp championship that Daniel Bryan has to go away. I want the planet's champion to be champion forever. And I think Daniel Bryan should retain the WWE Championship. I see no reason why you remove the title off Daniel Bryan. Like you said, Johnny, Seth Rollins is not that over. So give him the Universal title. Have somebody like Kofi Kingston, who is over, beat him for it, and then just move on. You know, why have guys that aren't over? Just like, don't push those guys. It seems pretty simple. If somebody's not that popular, well, don't use him. Use somebody who is popular. Seems logical.
And yet, what have they done with Roman Reigns when Roman wasn't even close to being that over? They put the championship on him, so they go completely against that logic.
Yeah. But they don't have to. Right? They don't have to. And I think that their product is more popular when they go with what is hot. You know, whatever the hot act is, you go with it.
Arguably, the hottest act right now is Kofi Kingston, no?
Yeah. I think he's cooled down, though, a little bit from where he was a few weeks ago because they've drawn out this storyline for so long.
The double gauntlet thing did hurt it a lot, without question.
Yeah. I think Becky Lynch has cooled off. I think a lot of their hottest stars that are still, you know, very over are not as on fire as they were a few weeks ago. And that's a little disappointing going into Mania, where I feel like they're not as over as they could be. I'm sure in front of the crowd, it's going to be a different story. But just the build-up hasn't been solid. The writing and the build and the story for a lot of these matches hasn't been great.
It took too long for us to get the match official. So then by the time that happened, it's like, well, we're pretty much at WrestleMania now. We had like 1 or 2 weeks of actual feud between them. And what they gave us was just, gauntlet matches and beat the clock matches. Nothing new, nothing original, stuff that's been done before. And it didn't really add anything to the feud. I thought the car thing with Ronda, Charlotte, and Becky, that was fun. But you really didn't need another tag match before that.
No, you didn't. That tag match was pretty pointless. But I did think that brawl was pretty good. That was maybe the best piece of storytelling that they did for that match. It was a good last moment on Raw to see them all fighting and arrested and getting thrown into cop cars and fighting the cops. It was a wild scene. It was a good segment. The rest of Raw wasn't that great to build up the show, but that was good. They did do well there. But this story has been so long and drawn out. I feel like it's not as hot as it was a few weeks ago, but it's still, it's still a big match. It's still a big match.
The shock was Vince getting involved, right? But that was 2 months ago now? And now just Becky getting back into the match. It took so many weeks, and we finally got to see it happen at Fastlane. And then now it's just been weeks of them talking back and forth, not much happening. We got a little bit of action this week. But besides that, it hasn't been compelling television.
No, it has not. And that's why people aren't that excited for WrestleMania this year. They haven't built it that great. There are some good matches on this card, though. I think that the matches will speak for themselves. Bryan and Kofi, despite the fact that we haven't had a proper build between the two of them, I think they're going to put on a really good match. I don't think it's going to be the end here, and I think they'll probably wrestle again at the next pay-per-view. They'll be wrestling again in May at Money in the Bank.
Well, this was never supposed to happen, right? So Kofi just getting this opportunity, I think, is amazing in itself. And people should just be happy with the fact that he's getting a title shot at WrestleMania, because this wasn't supposed to happen. So I think that's a victory in itself.
Yeah, New Day could have easily been in this fatal four-way for the tag team titles, right?
Probably were originally pegged in at one point.
Yeah, well, I think they probably were. I think Kevin Owens apparently was supposed to be Daniel Bryan's opponent here. But because Kofi caught fire and the WWE fans were so adamant, they put him into WrestleMania. I mean, Kofi was booked for Fastlane, and then they switched it up, and they brought back Kevin Owens. They kind of rushed that. Then they wound up doing a triple threat with Mustafa Ali. It's a weird build for Kofi Kingston because they weren't sure they were going to do it.
But it helped that they had Vince around. I thought Vince made it interesting because Vince, it seemed like he was always trying to put the screws to him. And that's what made you care about it because you wanted Kofi to overcome it. And he did.
Didn't do Kevin Owens any favors. For his big return, he's not currently booked for WrestleMania. Not even in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Braun Strowman is booked. So are the Saturday Night Live guys, Michael Che and Colin Jost. Apollo Crews, Titus O'Neil, Tyler Breeze, Jinder Mahal, No Way Jose, Bobby Roode, Chad Gable, Kalisto, Grand Metalik, Lindsay Dorado, Bo Dallas, Curtis Axel, Heath Slater, Rhino, Victor Connor, Andrade, Ali, Shelton Benjamin, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, Otis, Tucker, and EC3. 29 entrants, so there's still one spot out of 30. Who knows who's going to get that last spot? Will it be John Cena? Will it be The Undertaker? I don't know. It would be fun to see one of those guys at WrestleMania. They are rumored to appear, both of them. I expect them both to be on the show. Who will win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal? Will it be the easy pick Braun Strowman? Probably. This is slated to be on the pre-show of WrestleMania, so I don't expect it to be Undertaker or John Cena showing up on the pre-show.
Highly unlikely. And yeah, I expect Braun Strowman to take this one. It's been built around him the most. It wouldn't make much sense if he didn't win, unless they screw him over. I could see something like that go down, because I think that happened last year with Sasha and Bayley. They were against each other. They thought they'd win, but then Naomi won it in the end. Mm-hmm. So maybe something will happen with that, with the SNL guys screwing over Braun Strowman. But
okay. And if they do, who wins?
Let's have Bray Wyatt come back and win it.
I'm going to go with Otis from Heavy Machinery.
Just absolutely random.
Why not? He's good, that guy. He's got a hell of a look.
Well, it doesn't really matter, right? Because Matt Hardy won last year, and that went really pretty much nowhere.
So Jeff Hardy can win it this year.
Doesn't really matter.
Live for the moment. Come on, he got eliminated by Asuka on SmackDown this week.
It's disappointing with Jeff. Jeff should be in a big match, and he's not. Should be in that 4-way tag, no?
Jeff should be in a big match. Asuka was a SmackDown champion a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, but she'll win the Battle Royal, right?
Will she?
I think so.
13 participants have been announced out of 30, which is weird. Dana Brooke, Mickie James, Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, Sarah Logan, Asuka, Carmella, Naomi, Lana, Mandy, Sonya, Zelina, and Nikki Cross.
Oh, that means that most of it's just going to be NXT then, I think.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's all right.
Io Shirai, Shayna Baszler, Bianca Belair, Kairi Sane, and so on. Lacey Evans. Does Lacey Evans come out here and actually win this thing? Who wins? Asuka? You think Asuka?
She's my pick.
I don't think Asuka's going to win.
Wow.
I'm going to go with Lacey Evans. I think this will be her spot.
Doesn't really need to win it, but I think Asuka actually needs to win something.
I'm trying to do something with Lacey Evans. They've been building her up for how long? They got to do something.
Yeah, they do that with people, though. They built up Elias, right? And look where that went.
Well, he's going to be performing music at WrestleMania.
Right.
And you expect somebody to interrupt him, like John Cena or The Undertaker, right? Or The Rock. Somebody like that.
Okay, fine. It's just another moment, really. It's nothing like I look forward to watching, Right.
Who do you think is going to show up?
I hope it's The Undertaker. It's just an easy spot for him. Taker's there. He's in New York area, so.
Do you think Taker for sure will be at Mania?
He's in the area.
So what's your thing? I'm thinking he's definitely going to be there.
Yeah.
Cena? I'd say he's going to be there.
Yeah, but I think Cena's not going to have a match, though.
No, maybe not. Will The Rock show up?
Ooh, I don't know about that. I don't think so.
Stone Cold?
No, I don't think so.
Hogan? Probably.
Yeah, Hogan's there already.
Hogan's already there. He's inducting Brutus in the Hall of Fame. All right. How about that tag team match for the SmackDown tag team titles? Aleister Black and Ricochet. The Bar. Nakamura and Rusev challenging the Usos, the champions, in a fatal 4-way. That match also could easily steal the show.
Well, I think Black and Ricochet will walk into this match NXT Tag Team Champions because they'll want to take over. So I think it's going to happen where they're going to become champions on SmackDown as well.
So you think there'll be double champs?
Yep.
NXT Tag Team Champions and SmackDown Tag Team Champions. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that the Usos will retain. They're the best tag team going right now.
They are good, but in my opinion, Ricochet and Aleister Black, they're like the best tag team to watch. The most exciting tag team to watch.
They're good. They're very good, but I don't see them as a tag team. I still see them as two guys put together. They're not a tag team. They're two singles wrestlers.
But they're very good.
Yeah, but they're totally different. They're a good tag team, but they're just like, they don't fit.
Well, the
Usos fit. They're twins.
Right.
You get it,
But they won the Dusty Rhodes Classic, so they're pushing them as a tag team. Legit.
So, okay, win the NXT titles. But the SmackDown tag titles, too? Seems like a lot. I don't know. I think the Usos retain. How about the Revival defending on the main card? I think this is on the main card.
Wow.
The Revival defending the Raw tag team titles against Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder?
This is really happening?
It's actually happening.
Wow.
Well, they're New York, New Jersey area guys, right?
Yeah, but they never win.
No, they never win. That's why they're getting their shot. Will they win here?
It'd be a nice story, I guess.
I think they will.
Really?
Why not?
Wow.
Why not? Who cares? Give them their moment.
Zack Ryder had his moment. He won the ladder match.
Yeah, well, that was several years ago, wasn't it?
He got a moment.
When was that?
I think that was 32.
Kurt Hawkins never got a moment. What about Kurt Hawkins? He's given his whole life to professional wrestling. He doesn't deserve a WrestleMania moment. Give him something. Give him the Raw Tag Team titles in his hometown. Have him lose the next night.
He actually
Who cares?
Got a moment at WrestleMania 24 when The Undertaker chokeslammed him through a table when he did a run-in during the Edge Undertaker main event, WrestleMania 24.
That's not a victorious moment.
Edge, didn't win. That's true.
Yeah, so there you go. I think they're going to win. You don't.
No.
All right, let's go, Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. Prove Johnny North wrong, Edgeheads.
You're not going to do the woo-woo?
Woo. You know it?
Yeah.
I don't need to. I don't think Zack Ryder does that anymore.
He should.
The Internet Champion. How about Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre? This is Roman's first singles match since returning from leukemia. He must win. Drew McIntyre has beat him up in every encounter that they've had leading up to this match. Roman will win. Superman punch, spear, 1, 2, 3.
So you believe that?
Believe that.
Yeah, there's no reason not to.
How could you not? I'm not really looking forward to this match. I think Roman will win. Hopefully it'll be short.
Well, it'll be 10 minutes, I think. That's fine. Doesn't need to be any longer. I hope it's not too long. I worry. I feel like it's just going to drag.
Yeah, it might be a little too long. I don't think it will be, but you never know. How about the Boss and Hug Connection? Bayley and Sasha, the tag team champions, defending against Beth Phoenix and Natalya, the Iconics, and Nia and Tamina. Fatal 4-way for the WWE tag team titles.
I'm just thinking it should be Sasha and Bayley just because they're the best team in a sense where they could face a lot of the teams that are heels on Raw and SmackDown. So unless Beth Phoenix is coming back.
Yeah, which she looked really good on Raw this week. She wrestled for the first time in her comeback. It was Beth, Natty, Sasha, and Bayley against the Iconics, Tamina, and Nia. Beth spearing Tamina through the barricade, then hitting a glam slam on Peyton for the win. Beth looked awesome. She looked jacked, too.
Well, she always was.
No, but she looked more jacked almost. She looked amazing. She looked good in the ring. She looked like she was in top shape. She looks ready for a comeback. I say Beth and Natty take this.
I wouldn't mind seeing it, but I'm feeling that it's going to be Sasha and Bayley.
Nah, I'm going with Beth and Natty. Beth came back for a reason. Bobby Lashley defending the Intercontinental Championship against Finn Balor, who said he's going to be the Demon at WrestleMania. You know what that means. He's winning.
Yeah, it'll be an elaborate squash, I think.
Yeah, Finn's got to win, right?
Well,
as the Demon? I mean, he's not been the Demon for so long.
Since AJ, I think, like 2 years ago.
He wrestled Brock Lesnar. He wasn't the Demon. But for this match, he's wrestling Bobby Lashley. He's the Demon.
Well, I think they had to do this because we've seen this match quite a few times now, and it's nothing special. So this is the only thing to make it worthwhile is that you get to see the Demon. It's the best part about it, no?
About this match?
Yes.
Yes. The entrance will be cool. Hopefully it'll be, like you said, an elaborate squash, pretty quick. Finn hitting a few moves, going home, and that's it. Because we've seen Finn and Bobby wrestle so much. It's enough.
No more than 5 minutes.
Kurt Angle is going to have his farewell match. Triple H is going to wrestle Batista, and Samoa Joe and Rey Mysterio possibly in jeopardy. We're going to get to that when we come back after a short pause here on the radio side. It's Wrestling Uncensored. I'm Dave Simon, he's Johnny North, and WrestleMania is tomorrow.
Hey, this is the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, and you are listening to Wrestling Uncensored.
This is Brett the Human Hart, and you're listening to Wrestling Uncensored.
Hey, this is Trish Stratus, and you're listening to Wrestling Uncensored. People listening, Stratisfaction is guaranteed.
All right, welcome back. It's Wrestling Uncensored. I'm Dave Simon. He is Johnny North. WrestlingUncensored.net is the website. Talking professional wrestling every Saturday night. Go to our YouTube channel. Go to our YouTube channel and subscribe right now. That's where we are. We're on YouTube. I'm going to be on YouTube here tonight talking about the G1 Supercard. New Japan and Ring of Honor are doing a super show that's being broadcast live on New Japan World. And it's at Madison Square Garden. Sold out tonight. And I will be live on YouTube at youtube.com/ringsidereport.net, youtube.com/ringsidereport, DOTNET, live on YouTube right after the G1 Supercard, recapping that. And then Johnny and I will be live on YouTube right after WrestleMania on Sunday. So go subscribe to the channel right now. The channel is growing as we speak. YouTube.com/Ringside Report, DOTNET, RingsideReport.net on YouTube. The official channel. Johnny and I go live every Friday afternoon for Dave and Johnny Live. There's just so much action on the YouTube channel, especially this weekend. We are on. And of course, every episode of Wrestling Uncensored and Ringside Report Radio also published there on our YouTube channel. So you get everything, all the content in one place.
It's the place to be.
It really is. It's the only place to be. YouTube. YouTube.com/RingsideReport.net. I'm excited for the big WrestleMania post-show tomorrow night, Johnny North, after this marathon of professional wrestling. 5 p.m. start, scheduled to end, according to my TV, the guide on the gimmick, 12:30.
I feel like it was 1 last
year. It could be 1. It could be like 7 to 8 hours. It's a mess. But what are you going to do? It's a long show. We'll get through it. We'll get through it together. Okay? And then, if you want to watch more stuff, you can watch us on YouTube. I hope people won't be tired out by then. I'll be tired out, but we'll drink coffee. We'll have the energy. Well, I'll drink coffee. You'll drink whatever weirdo energy drink you have. You're like bodybuilder stuff. I don't know. You don't drink coffee.
I know you can smell it, that's for sure.
Yeah, like the weird, fruity, artificial Red Bull type.
It keeps you going, man. That's it.
Yeah, I don't like that. I just
survive
have
WrestleMania.
Normal old coffee for me. All right, let's get to some of these matches on this card, this super card. We have Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio for the WWE United States Championship. Joe is the champion. It looked to you like Rey was maybe hurt in his match with Baron Corbin on Raw on Monday. Are you worried that this match won't happen?
Well, because Rey was supposed to wrestle on SmackDown. He was supposed to wrestle Andrade. And then they scrapped that because Rey couldn't wrestle because of the injury, and they announced that. So I feel that Rey more than likely is not going to be good to go for WrestleMania if that's the case. So I think more than likely Samoa Joe is going to wrestle somebody else. I'm hoping it's going to be Kevin Owens so he gets a spot. But maybe it's John Cena because people want to see that, right? I wouldn't mind either or, actually.
I would like to see Kevin Owens in that spot. Kevin Owens, Samoa Joe is a dream match. And if I'm not getting Rey Mysterio and Samoa Joe, put Kevin Owens in there. He'd be perfect.
I think
that match would be amazing.
It's better because maybe Kevin could win. John Cena, you don't expect he'd win the championship. But Kevin, he's actually going to be at TV the next day, so he could win.
And that was the match we wanted to see for Kevin Owens.
Yeah, without question.
That was the WrestleMania match we wanted. Kevin Owens, Samoa Joe.
Yeah, that's true.
And maybe we'll get it now.
Unfortunately, because Rey would have been great too.
Yeah, well, we may still get Rey Mysterio. We don't know. Kurt Angle put Baron Corbin in the ankle lock to close out Raw. And he didn't let go. And referees came out, and then he let go after a bit. Is it possible that Kurt Angle and the ankle lock, he broke his ankle, and Baron Corbin will not be able to compete for Kurt Angle's farewell match. And then Kurt Angle will have no opponent to wrestle his last match at WrestleMania. And then out of the locker room comes John Cena to answer the call.
I'm concerned for Kurt Angle as well because he did not wrestle as well this week at all. He was supposed to wrestle Rey, but they turned it into Rey versus Baron Corbin instead. I think Kurt Angle's hurt as well as Rey, and that's why the match was short with AJ, I think, because Kurt got hurt.
Man, maybe in the Joe match, you're thinking?
100% he got hurt in the Joe match.
It was a rough match.
It was a very rough match.
It was a good one. I liked it. So, Kurt Angle, do you think he winds up wrestling Baron Corbin? Is this actually going to happen, or will they make a change last minute? I am still not convinced, and Kurt putting that ankle lock on Corbin to end Raw made me think maybe they're doing like a storyline injury where Kurt hurt his ankle and they're going to have to replace Corbin with somebody else, like John Cena. Because, Baron Corbin to be Kurt Angle's last opponent at WrestleMania is not good.
It's not great, but at least Baron Corbin's going to be on Raw the next night. You have someone you can build for the future. John Cena, it's been done.
Yeah, but you're trying to honor one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. It's a special match. It's his farewell match. You really want to have that match against Baron Corbin, who, okay, he might be on Raw the next night, but will be on Raw in 5 years? Will he even be in the wrestling business? You know, at least with John Cena, you know that he's got that track record of being a legend in the business. So Kurt can have his last match with him. Either beat him or lose to him. It doesn't really matter because it's John Cena. You beat him, amazing. You beat John Cena in your last night. You lose to him, no shame in that. It's John Cena. Baron Corbin, you lose to Baron Corbin in your last match? That's shameful. You beat Baron Corbin in your last match. Who cares? Kurt gains nothing by wrestling Baron Corbin. It's not a special match. It should be changed. There's still time.
It's special for Baron Corbin. This is his biggest match. No?
Who cares about Baron Corbin? I don't care if it's special for Baron Corbin. Who cares about Tom Peastock? A.K.A. Baron Corbin.
I think he's one of the best talkers on Raw.
Oh, God.
And this is great for him. This is huge for him. He needs this.
Come on.
Man, he beats Kurt Angle in his last match.
You don't want this, Johnny. You're trolling me right now.
Again, I've said this from the start. Like, I'd rather Corbin than John Cena, and I'll stick by that. Unless there's a better option on the table, give me Baron Corbin. Give me Baron Corbin to beat Kurt Angle.
Oh, you're wrong. You're wrong.
That's what people need to do. People need to put over the new generation.
Not Baron Corbin, though. It's cool. Replace him with Cena. Do you think Corbin wins?
Yeah.
I think Corbin doesn't even show up and we get John Cena. I'm just hoping. How about Triple H and Batista? No holds barred match. If Triple H loses, he must retire from in-ring competition. If Batista loses, nothing happens. So, I mean, yeah, they're stacking the deck here, making it pretty obvious. Batista's like, Triple H, you've never beat me. Here's a video package showing how you've never beat me. Triple H goes, I'm going to put my career on the line. And I'm sitting there like, okay, so Triple H has never beat this guy. He's putting his career on the line. Batista's putting nothing on the line. If you add that all together, that's a Triple H victory. I'm going to beat you, Batista, within an inch of your life.
Well, I think that's almost a guarantee, in my opinion.
Guarantee, pal.
Triple H winning. Not only is he going to win, I think this match is going to be early in the show because they want to make sure it's kind of away from all the big main event matches. So Triple H match looks one of the best matches on WrestleMania, like he did last year with Ronda. It was like third on the card, I think. Triple H does this on purpose to make himself look really good, and he's going to do it again this year.
Oh, man. Give him a break.
Give him a break.
Triple H does this on purpose to make himself look really good, puts himself third on the card. If he put himself later on the card, you'd be like, oh, Triple H is taking spots from people that should be later on the card. He can't win no matter where they put him on the card. It's not even him putting himself on the card. Vince is putting the card together. Triple H has a say, of course, and he's in charge of a lot of the stuff, but give the guy a break, man. Give me a break. I can't be third on the card. I can't open the card because that would take the spot from an opener. I can't main event the card. I can't wrestle Randy again. What do you want from me? I'm not going to wrestle Sheamus again. It didn't work. I'll wrestle Randy again, though. I know it didn't work, but I'll try it again. I know we can make it work. Randy's one of the greatest talents of his generation. And so is Batista. And we're going to tear the house down. Except that they won't. The match is going to be terrible.
Well, there's going to be tons of interference, right?
From
Ric Flair, from Randy Orton.
Randy Orton? But he's already got a match.
Yeah, he can just show up. It makes sense for him to get involved. This is evolution, no? Expecting a bunch of DX. Why don't you just throw in the NWO? Like, do a bunch of stuff because it's Triple H's match. You can do anything. That doesn't mean it makes sense. It's just a bunch of stuff going on that people react to, and it's like, wow, this is a cool moment. And they'll shake hands at the end, too,
and they'll hug, and it'll be fine. Yeah.
Won't make any sense, but it's Triple H. Just throw a bunch of stuff in there to make it seem like it's the coolest thing in the world. That's what Triple H does.
Well, that's what he needs to make these matches tolerable. Otherwise, if it's a straight wrestling match between Batista and Triple H, it's going to look pretty ugly. Batista wasn't a great wrestler when he was active. Now he's not wrestled for several years. He's older. I can't imagine he's going to be very smooth in the ring.
Triple H coming off his torn pec as well.
Yeah, he's coming off an injury. He's also looked a little clunky in recent appearances. The match needs a lot to be watchable. A lot.
Plus, I think it's going to be early because the last match I'm expecting is going to have a lot of weapons. So for them to also do this kind of no DQ, fight wherever you want kind of thing, they have to space it away. That's why you're probably going to see this early on. You'll probably see Shane and Miz in the middle, and then you'll see the triple threat in the main event. So that way they separate the hardcore matches.
Well, that does make sense because you have a few of them and you need to split them up. Triple H wins, though, without a doubt, right?
That was never, I think, in doubt from the start of it. He didn't even have to put his career on the line for me to believe that. Because Batista, this is obviously one and done.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's losing.
What'd you make of his promo on Raw this week? Hey, Hunter, kiss my ass. Like, that was it?
I like the point to the screen there. That's becoming another great Batista meme.
Is it?
Yeah.
Just Batista pointing to the screen, the little point that he did for the Tron video there? On the Titantron? Do they still call it the Titantron? I don't think so.
No, I think it's just the Tron.
Do they call it the Tron?
I think so.
All right. How about that Shane McMahon and The Miz match? Falls count anywhere.
Well, The Miz is invincible, no? He just won a 1-on-3 match?
Against Sanity on SmackDown. Yes, he did.
They're building The Miz to face Daniel Bryan. I don't know if you realize this, but they're clearly doing this.
Really?
Because we originally thought Miz, Daniel Bryan, roles reversed. That was going to be the WrestleMania thing, but they went in this direction. I think they're building The Miz to wrestle Daniel Bryan down the road.
Not a good idea.
Why?
Because the fans will turn on Miz.
Well, they're trying to build him into the superhero.
It's not going to work.
For me, it's not, but people were cheering on SmackDown.
Were they?
Yeah, they were.
Not really.
Kind of.
Kind of. The Miz is not going to get over as a babyface. And if you put him up against Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship, he will get booed. Their roles will be reversed.
Well, I think they're going that direction, and I think The Miz is probably going to beat Shane.
I think Miz probably does beat Shane because Shane attacked his dad, and Miz needs revenge for that, right? But I wouldn't mind seeing Shane win. I really don't care about this match. I could see Shane taking it just because, why not? But Shane's played the heel here. It would make sense for Miz to win.
Well, we're expecting Shane's going to do a crazy dive, right? Probably off top of the WrestleMania 35 set. So usually when he does that, he usually misses. So I'm expecting he'll miss, and The Miz is just going to roll on top of him. So that's what I think the finish will be. It will be amazing. It'll be one of the best things we see all show.
Yeah.
But The Miz wins. They're building The Miz to be the new Superman WWE.
No, they're not.
He won a 1-on-3 match.
We still have Roman Reigns, man.
Okay.
There's one Superman in WWE, and it's the big dog.
He's on Raw, though. SmackDown.
Hoo-ah!
They could be a great tag team, actually, Miz and Roman Reigns.
Oh, my. Don't even put that out there. So we both think Miz wins. If Shane doesn't hit one of those big, crazy stunts, disappointment, right? I mean, it's a falls count anywhere match. That means they can go anywhere in the building, and then if Shane falls, Miz could pin him afterwards anywhere. So Shane could pick any spot to jump off of and crash through. There's really many options. If Shane doesn't do one of these weird stunts, people are going to be like, hey, where's the stunt, Shane? Let's go. People will be very mad.
But it's like Hell in the Cell. Everyone's like, oh, he has to jump off top of the cell. If he doesn't do it, Hell in the Cell match is terrible. And they were right, and he did it. So I'm highly expecting he knows what we're thinking, he knows what we want, and he knows what to deliver. And Shane, if you've seen his track record in these kind of matches, he delivers.
I think he'll deliver with his one big bump.
I think there'll be other interesting moments as well. I mean, it's Falls Count Anywhere. You can make it fun.
Yeah. I like seeing Miz take a beating.
I expect a lot of people are going to help Shane throughout the match, right?
Yeah. Buddy Murphy versus Tony Nese for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship.
Probably the first pre-show match, I'm guessing. Or
Tony Nese won a tournament to get to this spot.
should have been Cedric Alexander. I would have been more interested in that, but
I feel like we've seen Cedric Alexander and Buddy Murphy a lot, though.
right, that's probably why they didn't do it. But still, I think Cedric Alexander, in my opinion, he's the best cruiserweight they have. He's the most exciting. He's the guy who should be on WrestleMania. He was there last year with Ali, and that was a great match. I just don't know about Buddy Murphy and Tony Nese. I don't think it'll be bad, but I don't think it'll be as good as if you had Cedric Alexander in it.
What about Kalisto?
Again, he was in the tournament, but he didn't win. Not even close.
Why not? He hasn't been Cruiserweight champion.
He was U.S. champion.
Yeah.
Tag champ, I think.
He's very good. I don't know why they don't make him the champion there.
Promos aren't that great.
Yeah.
Remember Botchamania?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And finally, John, I think we are... I mean, this has been... The whole show has been a WrestleMania preview, right?
Crazy.
And we are now winding down the show. We're nearly out of time.
Have we done all the matches? I don't think so.
We have one match remaining. We have done all the matches except for one. I saved this for last because I know it's your main event. I think it is the only match... No, they're... The only match other than Roman and Drew that doesn't have some sort of stipulation or title or something attached to it. It is a singles match, AJ Styles versus your man, your favorite, your top wrestler, Randy Orton.
It's funny we built this as like a big top match. It'll probably open the show, more than likely.
It might.
I could see it.
Well, it's a big match, though. The promos have been very good between the two of them. AJ and Randy says some pretty good stuff to each other.
What I think is great about this, I feel like when Randy talks, he talks about indie guys, he really means a lot of the things that...
He does mean it.
And it's fine.
But when AJ tells Randy, like, you couldn't hang in the indies, you'd get eaten alive, like, the only reason you survived was because of your dad, like, AJ means it too.
Right. He defends it, yeah, because that's who he is. He's not ashamed of it.
Why would you be? AJ is a real professional wrestler. And I bet you if you polled, 500 wrestlers, 1,000 wrestlers, whatever you want to do, and ask you, who do you respect more, AJ Styles or Randy Orton? They'd say AJ Styles. I'd say the majority would pick AJ Styles. I mean, you might be the exception here, John, but even you might give it up to AJ. I mean, who do you respect more as a professional wrestler? Whose journey do you respect more? Who's a better wrestler?
Well, it's a lot you just threw out there. Like, who's a better wrestler? Who do you respect more? It's many different things you just asked.
Who do you respect more?
I think I respect AJ more.
Who's a better wrestler?
Ooh, see, that's tough.
What?
That's really tough.
Is it?
Because they're both very good in their own kind of ways.
Yeah, I understand, but who's more entertaining?
Again, like, it's really difficult.
Wow.
They're both very entertaining in their own ways.
Are they?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, Kevin Owens, hosting the Kevin Owens show, had Randy and AJ on there on SmackDown this week. AJ saying Randy's been around for 20 years, and you learn one move. And Randy's like, yeah, I only needed one move. What's your problem? Oh, my goodness. Randy is ridiculous. Makes fun of indie wrestlers. AJ talked about Randy getting suspended for drug tests.
He has, yeah. It's all true.
The promos between these two have cut pretty deep. This is a grudge match. Like, the WWE hasn't given them tons of attention, but they've given them enough so that these two guys have made something out of this match.
Well, it feels like a shoot, almost, in a sense.
Yeah.
It's not a shoot, but
of course,
it feels like it a bit.
It feels real. Feels like there's some real emotion there. Who wins?
I think it's going to be Randy.
I think you might be right, but I'm not sure.
So it's 50-50?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm going to go with AJ. I think AJ Styles wins. I think Randy has been the heel here.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And I think AJ, he just signed a new contract. He's the babyface. And I think he gets revenge from all the stuff that Randy's done and said to him. I think that's how they're going to play it. However, Randy has been the guy pushing, hey, I'm a guy from the WWE system. I'm proud to be a guy from the WWE system, and this system that I went through is the best way to be a pro wrestler. That's been his promo for the past several weeks, right? Essentially. He's saying, you indie guys, you're not as good as me. I was handpicked because I'm a real top wrestler, and I came through the WWE system. Now, the WWE might book that guy to win, to prove a point.
For sure.
I could see them doing that because they are that type of company. However, I think the right thing here would be for AJ to win. You look at your main events, I mean, most of these guys were indie guys like AJ Styles that made the transition. Very few of the top wrestlers in the WWE on this card are WWE through and through. There are a bunch of them. I mean, let's look at WrestleMania here as an example. Brock Lesnar, he's a WWE guy. Seth Rollins is an indie guy, right? He was in Ring of Honor before. Ronda Rousey, she's a WWE person. Charlotte Flair, same deal, right? She started wrestling with WWE. So did Ronda. Becky Lynch, indie.
Right. I feel Ronda might be her own kind of thing almost because she was like a superstar that they just took. But
yeah, okay, so she's her own thing. Triple H, indie guy.
Yeah, I guess.
Right? He was in WCW. He was in, other promotions before WWE. Triple H is an indie guy.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, he was in the WWE system, but he wasn't taught to wrestle in the WWE system.
You're right, yeah.
Batista was, though.
Yeah, he was, 100%.
Right? Kurt Angle, WWE guy.
Yeah.
Baron Corbin, I don't even know.
Yeah, he's a WWE guy.
WWE guy, too?
Yeah.
Okay. So they have a lot of them, right? The Miz, WWE guy. Shane McMahon, I think he's an indie guy, right? Shane McMahon?
he wrestles like one.
He was a Dragon Gate champion or something, right?
He believes he's the best in the world, no?
No, clearly a WWE guy. His dad owns the company. AJ Styles, indie guy. Randy Orton, WWE guy. The Andre Battle Royal, whatever. Samoa Joe, indie guy. Rey Mysterio, indie guy.
Yep.
Bobby Lashley, WWE guy.
Yep.
Finn Balor, indie guy. Roman Reigns, WWE. Drew McIntyre, I think he started as a WWE guy, but then he went into the indies.
Right, yeah. It was the opposite.
Which is like a weird thing that doesn't happen that often, but it happens once in a while, like Cody Rhodes.
Yep.
Right? Boston Hug Connection, Bailey and Sasha, indie.
Yep.
Beth and Natty, indie.
Yeah.
Iconics, indie, I think.
Yeah, they started in Australia. Yeah.
Nia and Tamina, WWE. I think both of them.
I think it's fair to say with that one, yes.
Daniel Bryan, indie. Kofi Kingston, indie. Usos, kind of indie, kind of not. I mean, they had family in the business and they went, but I think they were mostly just brought in by Umaga, right? Kind of WWE guys, I think.
I would say WWE more than anything.
Yeah. Ricochet and Black, obviously indie guys. Cesaro and Sheamus, indie guys. Nakamura and Rusev. I don't know what Rusev was doing before he got signed to WWE, but I don't think he was wrestling much. Nakamura obviously is an indie guy, but yeah, he was signed to WWE and went to FCW in 2010. That was his first. So Rusev is a WWE guy. So you see the mix of WrestleMania here. A lot of them are indie guys. A lot of them are WWE guys. And with Randy and AJ, there's that collision that I'm sure is happening a lot in the locker room. You think of Randy as that WWE guy prototypical, but then you look up and down the roster, there's a lot of them, and a lot of them are very different from one another. I mean, you think about Randy Orton and his style. Kurt Angle also learned to wrestle through the WWE system. Triple H did not. Even though, his style is kind of what the WWE system is tailored after, right? It's kind of...
Completely.
Yeah.
So
Interesting match.
That's what, 15 matches in the end?
16.
16. Incredible.
16 matches for WrestleMania.
It's going to be one hell of a night.
WrestleMania 35, the 35th ever WrestleMania. Johnny North, as we're wrapping up, what is your favorite WrestleMania moment?
Wow, that's tough just on the top of my head right now. Wow.
What comes to the top of your head when you think great WrestleMania moments? I'll tell you, Bret Hart winning the title at WrestleMania 10 when everybody's hoisting him up on the shoulders. I thought that was a pretty cool moment. WrestleMania 20 when Eddie and Chris Benoit hugged in the middle of the ring and Eddie was crying. I mean, I still remember that moment fondly because of the emotion that Eddie felt. I mean, obviously Benoit had a big match when he beat Triple H and Shawn, and he became champion, but they were both champions at that point. And it was WrestleMania 20, it was Madison Square Garden, and it was just the look on Eddie's face, just pure joy, and he was crying. It was just like, we made it. We did it. We finally got here. We're at the top of the mountain. That was a beautiful moment. There's been some nice, of course, Hogan and Andre, the slam heard around the world.
Right.
Austin, WrestleMania 14, the Austin era when he beat Shawn Michaels. It's hard to nail it down to one, but, WrestleMania is that type of show where it gives you those moments that you remember for the rest of your life. That's the type of wrestling show that this is. It creates moments.
If I had to pick one, it would have to be Austin and Brett. I think WrestleMania 13.
Where the blood is trickling down Austin's face and the sharpshooter, and he doesn't give up. Ken Shamrock asking him. Austin doesn't give up, passes out instead.
Just how that changed the landscape of WWE, and that pretty much brought in the Attitude Era. Probably the best era of wrestling. I think that's the best moment because that's not even like the main event, but that stands out the most to me when I think of WrestleMania.
One of the greatest matches of all time.
Well, that too.
Bret and Stone Cold, WrestleMania 13. Yeah, it might be the best. Hopefully we see something that rivals that tomorrow night. Kofi and Bryan, let's go. Let's see it. Ronda, Becky, Charlotte, let's see something.
I think in the end we'll have our moments. Just it's really hard for 16 matches over 7 hours for it to be like, oh, this is really good. In the end, it's way too long, period. And there'll be some moments that are okay, but it should never be this long. They need to rework this.
WrestleMania used to be 3 hours.
4, I think. But yeah.
Like in the 90s, it started at 8, ended at 11. That's how it was. It was like any other pay-per-view, right? It was 3 hours.
WWE got too big, right? That's the problem.
It's really big. It's really big. It's supersized. WrestleMania 35, MetLife Stadium. I mean, they only do football stadiums now. They used to do arenas. It's just huge. It's a huge spectacle. It's an all-day thing. It's the Super Bowl of professional wrestling. Johnny North, you will not be at WrestleMania unless you're the 30th man in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, which is still a possibility. You never know. But nice. When is your next match technically? When can people see you in the ring for sure? Unless you're signed by WWE after you win the Andre Battle Royal, and then in which case, you'll still fill your indie dates though, right? You'll still fulfill your...
I'll do whatever I want, really. Pretty much, yeah.
Genesis does what he wants.
But I will be wrestling May 4th, defending the British Commonwealth Heavyweight Championship against Don Boulanger, 5959 Boulevard Monk. Bell time, I believe, is going to be 8 p.m. Doors open, I believe, 7:30.
There we go. Big match for Big Johnny. Going to defend the championship once again. Follow him on Instagram at Genesis Johnny North, on Twitter at North Genesis. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Dave Simon MMA. WrestlingUncensored.net is the website. And, of course, go to YouTube. Go to YouTube right now, youtube.com/ringsidereport.net, youtube.com/ringsidereport, DOTNET. Go there right now and subscribe. I will be live there shortly at the wrap-up of the G1 Supercard. Check out the channel right now. I might be live on there right now. You never know. And I'll be live again with Johnny tomorrow night after WrestleMania, live on YouTube. You can see us, you can talk to us, and see and hear our thoughts about WrestleMania 35. Thanks to Jimmy and Marco for helping us out, and a big thanks to you for listening. For Johnny North, I am Dave Simon, and this has been Wrestling Uncensored. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.